YouTube, what's up? Today we're gonna be doing some post commentary for some PvP matches on my way to level 100 Mortys. It's easier to do post commentary because a lot of times there may be no one around, or persons will be grinding and don't want to battle, or I might need to grind myself. Alright, before we get into that, however, guys, we are at 500 subscribers. I'm happy to see that. Of course, I wouldn't be here without you guys and your support, coming back, watching my videos, subscribing, dropping likes, that kind of thing. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for the support. It really means a lot to me as I'm watching the channel grow. So thank you so much for that, guys. Now, as promised, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway, so stay tuned to the end of the video to see how you can win. Now let's get into the video. So we pretty much walk around the town with our swords crossed, hoping for someone to accept our battle or send us a battle. And let's get into the first one. So he leads Morty, which is level 58. In my mind, I'm like, well, you're level 43, so I'm pretty sure you have some more powerful Mortys. Maybe this is just a troll, or maybe this is one that you're leveling up right now, but for whatever reason you decided to accept. Nonetheless, we're gonna soul steal. This is pretty much my strategy I have with Dragon Morty right now. A couple of soul steals along with some dragon calls, and you can pretty much take a lot of hits and dish out a lot of damage. I don't often see Turbo Mortys go for exfoliate, so that was a little bit surprising to me. Again, I'm not sure if he's just training this one up or whatever the case may be. Go for soul steal again. Pretty much want to get as bulky as I can, as well as outspeed any potential threats he might have. Again, I'm fully prepared for like the potential of level 80s, that kind of thing, since he's level 43. He's thinking hard about this because perhaps he's now wondering, should I let him set up on my level 58 Turbo Morty instead of going into one of my more powerful Mortys? He decides to stay in, so we pretty much soul steal again. It's a no drawback play. We're getting bulkier and bulkier, as well as potentially faster as well. It's a pretty good move to have. I know we risked the poison from fan art. We do end up getting poison, but it is what it is. We could always heal up at some point, and plus recovering HP with soul bondage kind of mitigates the poison as well. So we definitely keep that in mind, and so we don't fear poison too much. As long as we watch it, I think for the most part we're pretty much good to go. He stays in the whole time. He gives me full setup, so I get to use pretty much all my soul steals and pretty much prepare myself to sweep. At this point, it's gonna take a lot for him to be able to stop my potential sweep, but let's see what happens. So we can soul bondage, pretty much heal right back up, and now we're ready for the next thread. We can pretty much dragon call on whatever comes out, lower its defense, and attack into it with fireball for high damage and soul bondage for HP. That's a super effective piercing steer, by the way. Just because we've bulked up so much, it doesn't do too much. Now he does get the paralysis, but it's something we can manage, and again, we can always get rid of it if we really need to. Now at this point, I'm like, well, that's a level 55 Forbidden Morty. Like, what does he intend to do, right? And then after that, he just goes out into a Cronenberg Morty, which is level 55. So at this point, I'm like, how did he get so far with his Mortys being so low in terms of level, I was gonna send him a sad face, which I do, yeah. Because I was wondering, like, you're level 43 and your Mortys are capped at level 55. Or 58, I think. That's crazy. But nonetheless, Dragon Morty's pretty much gonna be able to do what Dragon Morty does, which is set up and sweep. If you don't have good resistances or good checks, it's definitely gonna sweep, or it has the potential at least to sweep you. So he's thinking about it. I'm still worried. I'm wondering if he has like a last Morty who's like really strong. Maybe I didn't see it when he walked up. Maybe he has a plan in mind. I don't know. I'm just worrying at this point. Like, what if this dude has a surprise in the bag? I mean, he is level 43 after all. But instead, he reveals the sexy devil Morty, and it's level 59. You can see from its HP stat 201. Yeah. And that is pretty much the first game. A pretty easy victory, honestly, especially given how weak my opponent's Mortys are. But yeah, let us move on to the next one. This game's a lot quicker, even though my opponent has stronger Mortys. We lead off with Hobo Santa Morty. We have the type advantage. We go for a Holiday Spirit to get that boost on multiple stats. He goes into Trover Morty, so I'm pretty much forced out. I am going to go into my Trover Morty because I can at least tank a hit. He goes straight for fan art, predicting that, so really good play. He gets the poison, so it pays off for him. At this point, we can pretty much fan art, try to get a poison off on him as well. Chip damage is going to be good late game. He goes for suplex. He's pretty much just trying to confirm the kill on my Trover Morty, which he does with the poison. So now we can go out into our Forbidden Morty and pretty much start bulking up. I expect him to switch out, as he does. He goes into Wasp Morty, and at this point I'm thinking, but it might be a better option to go for the poison to give him chip damage, just because lowering his attack isn't gonna be too useful. I'm not really too scared to have 3 rock types on my team, right? So he goes for Extreme Reaction. Really good move, gets both the poison and the paralysis, and it starts putting in work right away. At this point, I'm pretty much just getting chip on this thing because Extreme Reaction is a thing. Alright, it's the only Morty to get that move in the game. I think it's 80 or 90% chance to poison and paralyze. It's insane. And at this point anyways, I just don't want any of my other Mortys to have to worry about getting poisoned and paralyzed at the same time. So we get rid of that. At this point, we're gonna pull the switch into the Hobo Santa Morty. He goes back out into Trover Morty, but at this point, I'm thinking it might be useful to stay in just because I can potentially get another boost, but I don't, so Suplex does a heck of a lot of damage. I try again, and I get speed, which is unfortunate. See, Hobo Santa Morty can be really good, but you have to get lucky, and yeah, I'm not that lucky guy, right? So unfortunately we don't get any defense buffs, so we take a lot of damage. At this point we pretty much just stay in, get some chip off. We get some crits, that's really good. We bring it right down. As from there, we pretty much get to go into the one true Morty. We're gonna start bulking up alongside him. I know he has Dragon Call, but I can harden a couple of times and then pray a couple of times and hopefully beat him down. So he goes straight for Claw right there. After the Dragon Call, we're pretty much bulking up some more because, you know, again, he has Dragon Call, and so that's pretty much the strategy. This point we try to get some chip, but we miss, and he crits, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. We get a crit right back, and we pretty much do what we wanted to do, which is to get some damage off on that thing. We're gonna go out into our Forbidden Morty because we can outspeed potentially, and then get off a Pure Hellsinger on our Hobo Santa Morty or one true Morty, but we end up not outspeeding, which was unfortunate. We go out into our Dragon Morty. At this point we need to still bring something back because we don't want this guy to just use a Mr. Meeseeks on my last Morty, which he exactly does. So good call. We knew we needed to bring something back just for that. So the one true Morty's back, fortunately, and At this point, we can pretty much just pray, set up in his face. We know he cannot use an item just yet, so we have an opportunity here. Now we get rid of the Dragon Rider Morty, plus we're faster, so we get initiative with the item, which is crucial. This one true Morty actually has 16 IVs in speed. It's pretty much the fastest you can get this thing, and trust me, it's very useful, especially in the mirror matchup. But he goes out into Forbidden Morty. At this point, I pretty much just stay in. I've gotten off my revive on my Dragon Morty, and so at this point I'm pretty much good to go. It doesn't matter if I lose the one true Morty at this point. He goes out into Dragon Rider Morty, and we finish up. Yep. We level up to 45 after this match, which was pretty good. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Now for this game, we lead off with Dragon Morty on the Cronenberg Morty, and we're gonna pretty much get into our strategy, which is to soul steal a couple of turns. He pretty much does what most of the other Cronenberg Morty players do, which is to set up a couple of mortifies. Now of course, he's a little bit higher than me in terms of level. I think this guy was level 49, and at this point I was about level 45. But I still have confidence in my Mortys. Level doesn't always play an integral role, especially when it's not too far. 7 levels is definitely not too far. And so we're pretty much just there setting up in each other's faces. I don't think he took into account that my Morty was boosting its defense as well. Maybe he did not take that into consideration, but I think I get the better end of the stick here. He gets a crit, unfortunately, but we do have soul bondage. We can pretty much get it all back. So that's it for Cronenberg Morty. He goes into Forbidden Morty, and at this one we can pretty much switch to Dragon Call at least once and see if we can smash him with 2 hits. He goes for Arcane Cast. He gets the paralysis, which is never good. You know how that goes. And from here, I try to go for Fireball one more time. I miss, and now he has 2 denials up. We try one more time, and now my attack's down. So at this point, I think we pretty much have to switch out into our Hobo Santa Morty, get the type advantage, and then go from there. Of course, he could switch out, but we can at least get that one move off. He goes for Arcane Cast, stays in, gets the paralysis again, and at this point it's getting a little dangerous for us. Turbo Morty comes out as expected, and pretty much as always forces us out. He gets the hit off before I switch out, gets the poison, which is not good, so now we're poisoned and paralyzed. And things aren't looking so great. He gets the poison off on Forbidden Morty as well, and I go for Necrosis instead of my Piercing Stare because I want to get the poison off, but I fail, unfortunately. And I think now I essentially have to start consider using some items, just because of the statuses that my team is experiencing right now. So we are gonna essentially start with the paralysis. That's the most dangerous on Dragon Morty. Not being able to move in a turn is not good. He starts bulking up his ball drop Morty, which is a little scary, but I have Dragon Morty, who is also a little bit set up as well, so I'm not too nervous. Now it's a little bit early in the game, and it's never really good to start using your items from early, but at this point I pretty much have to get my Mortys back in shape, especially since he's out here sitting up in my face. I don't have much of a choice. At least now we could essentially go out into our hobo Santa Morty, predicting him to go out into the Forbidden Morty, because my Dragon Morty was pretty much a good play there and he expected that, so he went into the Forbidden Morty. So this pretty much opens up the door for me to try to set up a couple more times, hoping to get that speed boost so I can outspeed his team, but unfortunately we're just getting pretty unlucky here. We try with our last holiday spirit, we get the defense and the speed, so we finally outspeed his team, which gives us the initiative. We try to get some chip, but we fail. Chip, but we fail. Trust me guys, paralysis is scary. It's pretty scary. You can be paralyzed like 3, 4, 5 turns like consecutively, so it's pretty dangerous. We're forced to use our only pure curum on our hobo Santa Morty. At least we're now back at full and we can try to poison this thing. I don't wanna Naughty or Nice because I'll hit myself for way too much damage, and knowing me and my luck, yeah, nah. So we got in our Dragon Morty on the Trovo Morty because we need to start setting up alongside this thing as well if he starts to retain strength. Suplex is a very powerful move. He goes for the fan art, good play to get the poison, which he does to add some pressure on me, but that's fine. I think we can pretty much Dragon Call, drop his defense pretty much in preparation for later on. And with him going out into his level 95 Dragon Morty, I'm now like, you know what? Things just got serious. We Dragon Call, but then his Morty disobeyed his orders, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was here once. This is perfect. I'm just gonna set up. So this is pretty much the opportunity for me to set up with getting my HP back, as well as potentially getting off Soul Steel. And so we pretty much get out there alive. His Dragon Morty would not obey him, which is great for us. He goes back into the Forbidden Morty. It's already pretty bulky at this point. We remember it went for a couple of denials. So at this point we want to Soul Steal a couple of times, see if we could drop his defense, as he most likely will try to go for Arcane Cast to paralyze me again. Yep. But it's poison, so between the poison and fireball doing reasonable damage, we could definitely get rid of it. And so that's pretty much the objective here. Let's pretty much just get rid of this thing. It's really bulky defensively at this point, and we need to set the table for Dragon Morty to put in some work. Of course we're fighting against the paralysis as well, but fortunately we break through as he fully heals the Forbidden Morty. So now we're in a little bit of a pickle. We have some more work to do, unfortunately, and at this point we're back into the items and we're getting that pure curum on our Dragon Morty as well. He goes for the denial, and at this point it's honestly worth switching out into hobo Santa Morty potentially and start setting back up in his face. He goes for the Mr. Meeseeks box on the switch, unfortunately, and so at this point it's like, I mean, if he expected that, it was a pretty good play. It was pretty much my play at that point. So at this point my only other option is, I know he's gonna stay in with Forbidden Morty, and I'm banking on it because now he has the type advantage, and he's gonna want to paralyze me. He's gonna want to potentially try to poison me. He's gonna want to drop my attack and all that, which is the perfect opportunity for me to just pretty much spam splash and drop his defense. Once I do that, it'll open up a door for my Dragon Morty, and I'm pretty much hoping he doesn't see that, which he keeps on attacking me. So this is perfect. I get off a couple of splashes, which, especially since he misses there as well, I get off a couple of splashes which will make this thing very weak defensively. And so Trevor Morty pretty much did what it needed to, honestly. So now we can go out into our Dragon Morty. He switches out the Forbidden Morty, I'm guessing because it's a little bit weak defensively at this point, but I don't really care too much. He could try to fan art and poison me again, but it doesn't matter as he does. But we could just try to continue setting up, so it's not a problem at all. Yeah, we can pretty much soul bondage, get all of our HP back. Forbidden Morty comes in, it has to take poison chip, and at this point we could just fireball with no defense. Bye bye. And at this point it should be a lot easier. The ball drop Morty was a little bit set up, but I'm not too worried about that. I mean, if he goes for scissors moves, it won't do too much, and I don't foresee it doing too much damage to me. It'll definitely not out damage me, so he's forced to go for another Mr. Meeseeks box again. But that's fine. We have the one true Morty, and we can pretty much go for a pure health zinger and bring our Dragon Morty right back. We decide to actually switch hard into it because I'm really not about him clicking love yourself and setting up in front of me unnecessarily. So I just pretty much want to get this one over with. So we go hard into the Dragon Morty and pretty much continue to beat him. Trevor Morty comes back out, we finish that thing up, and that's pretty much the end of this game. It was a hard fought match, but we did it. A couple of plays needed to be made, especially since he was predicting me as well, so that was definitely a good game. Well, on to the final one. Something else I've learned while playing competitively is your Mortys actually can only be up to 2 times the level of your rig minus 4. So initially when I started, I thought it was twice the level of your rig plus 2, but it turns out, well, for me anyways, in terms of testing, once your Morty has a lot of EVs, so you special trained it a lot, it seems to be twice the level of your rig minus 4, and I think that's the safest way to go. So if you're level 45 rig, then that means you're up to level 90 minus 4, so 86. I think that's the safest way to look at it if you do want to go that way, so do definitely keep that in mind. Anyways, this guy has a Specs Morty. I actually like Specs Morty. It's really fast as a paper type, so that's quite nice actually. It does also get the ability to buff its defense with the move defend, I believe. But yeah, we're pretty much doing the same thing with the Dragon Morty. Set up with Soul Steel if they have nothing for it immediately. If they don't try to set up alongside it, then we are pretty much blessed with an opportunity. So Soul Bondage, as always, gonna give us back quite a lot of HP, and then we can pretty much just continue from there. He now has Buttface Morty, so 2 paper types so far, making things a little bit difficult for Dragon Morty, but with the boosts from Soul Search, that definitely helps us a lot. He ends up going straight for Mr. Meeseeks to get rid of the Dragon Morty, but that's not a problem. We could always bring it back if it's necessary. Then assuming he's gonna want to go into a rock type on my potential scissors, I go into Forbidden Morty, but it looks like he predicts that and goes into his Wasp Morty, so good play if that's what he was going for. We're gonna revive our Dragon Morty with a Pure Health Zinger. He goes for Extreme Reaction and nothing happens. You don't usually see that, interestingly enough, but fortunately for us, nothing happened. We're able to switch out there into the Dragon Morty. Unfortunately, we get poisoned, but that's fine. At this point, I understand that Wasp Morty is a problem. Definitely a problem when you see it. Extreme reaction is just a crazy move. I go straight for the fireball just to make sure I can get some good damage off on it, which I do, which is perfect for late game just in case. And we can pretty much hit this up with the fireball as well. At this point we can pretty much get some heavy damage off and then recover back all with soul bondage. At this point there isn't much else for him to do, so honestly he goes campaign manager Morty but then ends up leaving the game. So that's pretty much gonna be it. Those are the games. Also I do have a video coming out tomorrow as well regarding the upcoming event this week as well, so you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that. Hit the notification bell if you actually want to receive those notifications when the video goes up as well, especially since I'm not exactly working off of a schedule right now, just whenever I have the best opportunities. Now let's talk about the giveaways. If you made it this far, congratulations. You now have an opportunity to win some Mortys. So here's what you need to do. First of all, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss any other future potential opportunities to win Mortys as well. Drop a like on the video and I'm going to explain why as well. And most importantly, make sure you drop a comment down below with your in-game username, all right, as well as the Morty that you would like: a rock Morty, a paper Morty, and a scissor Morty. Now if I have all three and you win and I have the ability to provide you with them, meaning they're not on my main team for instance, then I'll do my best to make sure you get those. If I don't, then I'll provide you with some alternatives. All right, but that's pretty much what you need to do. So again, make sure you're subscribed, drop a comment down below, make sure you put your in-game name, a rock Morty, a paper Morty, and a scissor Morty that you would like, as well as make sure you drop a like on the video. Now, how many winners are going to be selected? Well, that's going to be dependent on you guys. So from the time this video goes live, within 7 days, for every 3 likes this video gets, I will select one name in the comments and that person will be a winner. I'll add you in game and I will donate to you a rock, paper, and a scissor Morty. It's the least I can do for the support that you guys have been giving me. Again, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by, watching my videos, dropping likes, subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate the support, and you guys are what makes the growth of this channel possible. So thank you so much for that. And that pretty much is gonna be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. As always, do take care.